What's up, tribe? This is Justin. Elevate Credit. Today is day 31. Choosing the correct address. So thank you guys for following. This is journey from day 0. Losing everything in Mexico to reuniting my wife and my son, my family here in the U.S. They're in the Philippines right now. So we're talking credit, we're talking biz funding, we're talking real estate, just life in general. So today we're talking about choosing the correct address. Yesterday we talked about business name. Today we're talking about address. Why? Because there are different types of addresses you can use, and they need to be used strategically for different purposes, different types of credit. There are 2 different types of credit: personal credit and business credit. And there are a handful of different addresses that you can use as well. Typically for personal credit, you want to use a residential address. And for business credit, for a business, you want to use a commercial address. But there are a lot of different types and variations of those. Right? So when you're applying for personal credit, you don't want to put a commercial address on the application. When you're applying for business credit, you don't want to put a residential address on the application. It could still work, but to get the best results, you want, of course, residential, personal, commercial for business. So what I've used in the past, because I've lived abroad for so many years, is Regis. Now let's talk about Regis. I have a Regis office in Seattle, Washington, so that on paper it looks like I have a presence in the US, and that works well, especially for business funding as well, because if you look up Regis, it's a commercial address. It's not a residential. It's not a mail forwarding address. Typically, UPS centers will set up these mail forwarding address, and banks don't like those as well. It's a legitimate commercial address with a suite number. And it's important that we use these different types of commercial addresses with a suite number that are legit, that are coded correctly. The United States Postal Service has a different code for the different types of addresses that tell what type of address it is, and some banks will pick up on these lists, these different types of addresses, and they'll make their decision based on what type of address it is. So I like Regis. It's just for a mail forwarding service. I can have on paper a business that is in the US, in Seattle, Washington, and I can use that for many different purposes, not just banking relationships, but it does work well for banking relationships. So thank you guys for following. To my son Josiah, you are blessed, you are amazing. Remember to use credit responsibly, boy, for building business, investing in real estate, to your success. Salud.